Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10, Chapter 52, entitled Rukmani's Message to Lord Krishna, Shloka number 18. Am I audible to everyone? Or otherwise we have to increase little bass. Bass we have to reduce, I think. Treble. Treble has to be increased, bass has to be reduced. So then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So okay? Okay, we just start then. So please repeat after me. Shri Rajovacha Bhagwan Bhishmaka Sutam Rukmani Ruchirananam Rakshasena Vidhanena Upayema Itam Iti Shrutum Shri Rajovacha Bhagwan Bhishmaka Sutam Rukmani Ruchirananam Rakshasena Vidhanena Upayema Iti Shrutum Shri Rajovacha Bhagwan Bhishmaka Sutam Rukmani Ruchirananam Rakshasena Vidhanena Upayemam Iti Shrutum. Shri Raja Bhagwan Bhishmaka Bhagwan Bhishmaka Sutam Rukmini Ruchirananam Rakshasena Vidhanena Upayemam Iti Shrutum Shri Rajovacha Bhagwan Bhishmaka Sutam Rukmani Ruchirananam Word to word meaning, translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shri Raja Vacha, the king, Parikshit Maharaj, said, Bhagwan, the Supreme Lord, Bhishmaka Sutam, the daughter of Bhishmaka, Rukmanim, Srimati Rukmani Devi, Ruchira, charming, Ananam, whose face, Rakshasena, called Rakshas, with Hena, by the method, namely by kidnapping, Upayema, he married, Iti, thus, Shrutum, heard. Translation: King Parikshit said, the Supreme Lord married Rukmani, the beautiful faced daughter of Bhishmaka, in the Rakshas style, or so I have heard. Purport: Srila Sridhar Swami quotes the following Smriti statement: Rakshaso Yuddha Haranta. A Rakshas marriage takes place when bride is stolen from one's rival suitor by force. Similarly, Sukdev Goswami himself has already said, Ragya Paramathaya, Krishna had to beat down opposing kings to take Rukmani. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshadarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratase Nama He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Hilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Nathaye Te Namah Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I seek blessings of all the present devotees here. So by the blessings of all devotees, I can start discussing Srimad Bhagvatam for my purification and for glorification of Lord and His devotees. Hare Krishna. So this very beautiful chapter of 10th canto going on, and we will hear after few shlokas how Rukmani Devi, she used to hear from great sages and great people, those who will come to the palace. And by that, she developed desire to have Krishna as her husband. Though she is Radharani's expansion, originally connected to Krishna, but in this pastime, like by hearing about Krishna, she was getting more and more and more attraction towards Krishna. I was hearing one lecture of Radhanath Maharaj. He was saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Krishna Prem is dormant in everyone's heart. It's there, but it's forgotten or it's covered. He was giving an example, like if you see that sun rays, everywhere there is a creation of sun ray only, heat of sun. But those sun rays come into a tree, a small like bud, then it becomes a tree. And those rays are stored in the wood in the form of fire. Same heat, same fire of sun. And now that fire is inside the wood, it's there. So if its proper environment is there, dry environment, and if you put fire from outside, then it will come out blazing. And if it is not in proper environment, if it is put in that wood is put in some water or something, then nothing will come out. But fire is there. It can be revived again. We have to dry it and all. So he was telling, when we come in association of devotees, those who are lover of Krishna, That fire in our heart, which is Krishna Prem, is already there. But in association, it's awakened and like goes blazing. It's like that wood is coming in touch with fire. Already there is fire in the wood, but outside fire is required to get it out. Similarly, the love of Krishna is there in everyone's heart. But if they are fortunate, they come in association of devotees, and then that love can be reawakened, like discovered. It's there, but it can be brought out. Otherwise, if they associate with water element, I mean to say Maya, then that will be there, but it will be forgotten for longer time. So similarly, Rukmani Devi in this Leela, she is showing by hearing constantly about Krishna that love is awakened. And we see in this world also, this is like, it have advertisement and things like they tell many times, they show you many times, and then you get attracted. And those things are not real, they are false. But somehow they make such a makeup and think we think it's a real. But here is the real thing, Krishna and Rukmani Devi. Even in Jagannath Puri, there is in the day of Nirjal Ekadashi. In the day of Nirjal Ekadashi, there is the pastime of marriage of Jagannath with Rukmani. And that kidnapping pastime takes place in that Nirjal Ekadashi. There is a small deity of Lord Jagannath, means Utsav Vigraha, I think Madan Mohan. And he comes with like on the chariot, and the Rukmani Devi, small deity of Rukmani Devi, she is going to Durga Devi Mandir, and then kidnapping takes place and fighting happens. That pastime happens at that day. And after marriage, there is a big feast. But because of Nirjal Ekadashi, devotees cannot take. Lord's marriage is there now, feast will be there. So that happens in Jagannath Puri, like that. Put it down. So here, in every pastime of Lord, there are so many lessons and so much relish, right? So Lord Krishna kidnapped Rukmani Devi, and it was like a Rakshasa style marriage. I was reading in Mahabharata one time, I think it says there are 8 types of marriages. Gandharva marriage, Rakshasa marriage, normal, many types of marriages. This is like Rakshasa marriage. And this is not only Lord is doing, but outside people do because of love story. They do like, but they get a lot of beating also afterwards. one of the person who I know him. So he was in some love thing like that. And he was very adamant to get married to that particular girl. But everyone was opposing, his family and girl's family. And his father was very strong. So he was telling, what will happen to our family? You are from this caste, they are from that caste. Love like that, love marriage. But he was very adamant. Though he was very small in size compared to his father, but he was very adamant. Then his father gave him a strong beating and his hand was broken. For 2 months, he was putting this bandage and all like that. So he said, but still after 2 months, he ran away from home and he ran away with that girl. So I was thinking, in this world, people also try to imitate Lord, but they get beating and all before and after. And sometimes we see in the Bhagvatam, kings and princes, they are killed by the opposing party, this type of marriages. And even after marriage, sometimes girls' side people can kill the boy. It happens. So everyone wants to become like Lord, but they cannot become. So we should release the pastime of Lord. Like it says, we can follow Ram Leela, But we should not follow Krishna Leela. We can just hear and be happy. Ram Leela means very ideal, like human being. Like he's Lord, but he's showing how to be ideal human being. So this is. So here we see Rukmani Devi. She's hearing about Krishna and getting attracted. And I was reading the book of that Devki Mataji, that she was writing, every girl or every woman, she wants a hero in the life. So it's not unnatural, like what is shown by Rukmani Devi and like in the past time. It's a natural tendency. And every man wants to be hero in front of girl. That is also like natural tendency. So she was describing in the Vedic circumstances, like if woman is humble and following the husband, and she makes the husband as hero, gives that privilege or that gives that respect, then man will perform best in his capacity. Otherwise, if that woman takes the right or take the chance from that man to be hero, and she becomes like hero, something like I can do everything, what is the need of, then that person get depressed, and there's a lot of problem in society. He was telling. So Prabhupada says in Bhagvatam, women are the source of auspicious energy. Right? Somewhere he writes in first canto, she is the source of auspicious energy for men. But she writes that woman has to be behind. She has to give that respect and acknowledgement to the men. Right? Then he will function nicely. The function of man is to protect, to provide. Man is protection and provider. And the role of woman is like from behind. So follow the husband, take care of children, and soft nature of that. Because there's an ego in the men. But basically every woman needs a hero. But people do not know who is real hero. And they get cheated. So here is the same thing going on. But the real hero is Krishna. But this is a natural psychology tendency. And she says in that book, we are not talking about equality of men and women. We are talking about they're different. They're different. Because problem comes when we talk about equality, there is a problem. But they're different. It's like a example given like a tractor and the Mercedes. They are both vehicle, but they are different. Tractor is very powerful, like very robust, but it can go slow and can do big, heavy tasks. But Mercedes can go very fast, very smooth and swift and very looking like royal. So they are both vehicle, but they have both have different function. Right? They are not having same function. So they are different in one sense. So he was telling the man has a different job in society, woman has different job. So man, mostly the role of man is to be provider, caretaker, protector. That is the more, like we see, Prabhupada also says, a girl is protected by father, then husband, then grown-up sons. So men are protected and women are protected by men. So here we see Rukmani Devi, she is in the home and whatever is told by elder brother and father, she is following. It's not like, no, I don't want to follow, I'm going out. And she was like completely following Vedic way of like, because she is the ideal example of chaste woman. But under the protection of elder, Prabhupada writes in third canto, I think that was when Kardam Muni is getting married to Devhuti. So Devhuti is brought by Swambhu Manu. And Prabhupada writes in that, this is the way a father should decide who will be the bridegroom for a girl. It's not like girls are given freedom to go in the street and find their husband. That is not Vedic system. So that's why, like Rukmani Devi is following the same thing here. So now here is going on Rakshasa style of marriage. So we discussed little bit. There are so many people try this way. Even in Mahabharata, like not Ramayana, we saw the this Ravan example. He kidnapped Sita Devi, but that was irreligious because she was already married. So this is there in scriptures. This is there in modern day life. It's this style because everyone wants to become hero, wants to become like Krishna, but that is only possible for Krishna, not for others. I was hearing one lecture. Srila Prabhupada was telling Krishna can marry 16,000 wives, but you cannot marry 16 wives also. Prabhupada gave a big number, 16. But we cannot become Krishna. Better we understand our eternal position, part and parcel of Krishna, servant of Krishna, and can enjoy in glory of Krishna, in the victory of Krishna, and appreciate that. And when we do selflessly, honestly, then Krishna is so happy, he fulfills our heart by that happiness, by that love and satisfaction. He gives more. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, the gopis, they are part and parcel of Krishna, or expansion of Radharani. But when they are trying to serve Krishna, Krishna gives them more happiness. How? It's achintya. Krishna can enjoy the maximum amount of happiness because he is infinite. But because gopis are finite and they are serving Krishna, that Krishna has that inconceivable power, he can give them more happiness what he himself feels. That is the power of Krishna. So we are looking for happiness in a different way, with a different style, different mood. But better if we serve Krishna lovingly, selflessly, and enjoy in his glory. Then Krishna has that power, he can fulfill our heart with more happiness, even what he feels, greater than that Krishna. But in this world it is not possible with material object, with material manifestation. But Maya is very strong. Shri Nitai Gaur Bhagwan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. So we get attracted, illusory, towards illusory attraction. So here we see Parikshit Maharaj is telling, I want to hear more and more and more. And it's amazing, like very difficult to understand. He is going to die after 1 or 2 days now. I think this will be the 5th day. And still he is peacefully hearing and he is getting more and more and more eager to hear. So we have to really pray to Parikshit Maharaj so that we also get this fearlessness, so that we can absorb. We are getting disturbed by little things. Sochiti and Kanchiti, like little bit things, something not happening, that is this and that. And our attention goes from chanting and hearing. But he is sitting at time of death. And it's amazing how he got. At least he's completely free from the bodily concept of life. That is one level. And also he is completely attached as a servant. I am servant of Krishna in that position. Otherwise it's not possible. Otherwise mind will go here and there. That's why he is so satisfied. Prabhupada was telling in one lecture, every person who has this sochiti, what is kanchiti? Kanchiti means I want something, hankering, yes, hankering. He has to come under sochiti also, lamentation. जितना पाने की इच्छा होगा उतना शोक होगा. It's like equal. You cannot avoid it. Like if you want, I want, then you have to lament for that thing. So it's related. It's not separate. They are related. In this world we see more people and more ourselves are in the mood of kanchiti. I want to preserve, I want to keep. And we struggle very hard. Then more there will be lamentation, sochti, shoka. So start from desire to have. So better we should desire to have Krishna. Otherwise, desire for other things will land us in more sochati, more lamentation. There are so many examples in Bhagvatam. Very tragic example of Chitraketu. So much of hankering for son, so much, and then so much of lamentation afterwards. So that is there. So I was thinking in our life also, like if we get attached to something or we want something which is not Krishna conscious, then there will be problem in future. Because Sochiti and Kanchiti and Sochiti. More attachment than more suffering. And attachment is the cause of suffering. Right? So because Parikshit was free from that Kanchiti, he was not doing any endeavor to protect his body. No endeavor. No Kanchiti. Like I mean to say, no endeavor to have for anything material. Just relax here. But then there was no lamentation from his side. He was just hearing. Just hearing. So every day we can practice like that, hear like that. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj says sometime like we should think this is our last day. Sometime if you try to do like that, if you chant this mantra or this round, this may be my last mantra or last day, then we become very serious, right? It happens. For that time, we become very serious. But again we forget. No, time is there. I have so many years to live. Then again, relaxation is there. Tomorrow I will chant nicely. So, when we are in a Brahma Bhuta platform or in the platform of soul, then this eagerness, urgency will be there. Otherwise, on the bodily platform, it's very difficult. Bodily platform means laziness and procrastination, and it's okay. Time is there. But we see the life of Prabhupada. Prabhupada never relaxed. Every day there was fixed schedule, everything. Like in my life, when things are more pressurized and things, services, then we do fast. Oh, now so many things. But other time free, let us relax. Then things build up. But I was observing the life of Prabhupada. Every day he was doing the same thing, systematically, every day. Like he created his services. It's not like he was waiting. Sometimes there is a tendency to wait. Now I think I have done my morning program. There is not much service than wait. But he created his service. He's an Uttam Adhikari, very advanced. So we have to also plan, create our services or do something so that we are whole day engaged properly. So that we can learn from the life of all great acharyas and senior devotees. Right. So here Parikshit Maharaj is very eager to hear. And in Bhagavatam also, like many places, devotees, they say, we are eager to hear more and more and please speak more and more and more. So that means they are experiencing the relationship with Krishna. It's not just mechanical. Because if we do mechanical, after some time, we are tired. That's why Prabhupada says 24 hours. We have to chant 24 hours. Sometimes, if you just see the mechanical, Hare Krishna, how we can say 24 hours? It's like a machine. But unless they are reciprocating with Krishna in relationship, like that juice, it's like same thing, like a boy and girl. For them, 24 hour samadhi is very easy in love. That is relationship. Right? It happens. Relationship. They don't see watch. They don't say there is something urgent. They have full time. So many days. They don't want to go back to home. They don't want to eat. They don't want to sleep. Complete pure devotee of each other. So that's why devotees can do 24 hours. We can see that example in this world. Like sometimes we see the similarity. But we see similarity, the same thing in Rukmani and Krishna and many examples. But in this world also that is there in a perverted way. That thing is in the perverted way. so much of absorption. And but Maya eludes us. So we have to be very, very careful. Hear from Srila Prabhupada and devotees so that we can be saved from allurement of Maya. Otherwise, it's very difficult. We may think this is the real thing, this material world. So, I was hearing one lecture of Radha Gopinath Prabhu. He was telling relationships are like a fruit, and the juice is like reciprocation. So, the expert devotees of Bhagavatam, those who hear Bhagavatam, they are rasakya. They know how to derive the rasa from Bhagavatam, rasa of relationship with Krishna and devotees. Then they can go on continuously hearing, reading continuously. Otherwise, if we are not expert in we are not rasakya, we cannot derive the rasa of that relationship with Bhagavatam and devotees and Krishna. Then it becomes mechanical. So devotees have to become rasagya. They have to come to that stage where they can find the ras in all situations of life connected to Krishna. And in that way, they will not be tired. And they can go on reading, hearing, as Prabhupada says. And we see the life of great devotees because they are in that relationship with Krishna. The beauty of Krishna, the form of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, dealings of Krishna with devotees, and they themselves are feeling very close relation with Krishna. In that way, they can say no to Maya. So here, Rukmani Devi is completely in relation with Krishna, and even Krishna is understanding that she is proper girl for me. Match. There is a verse come, Saman, where something like that. It's so here, very nice story is going on. So it starts from the last chapter where Krishna meets Kalyavan and Muchukunda, and Krishna is just walking, and Kalyavan is running very fast. Kalyavana was very big, but here we see in this chapter, Jarasandha, when he saw Krishna Balaram started running. Now, and here Krishna Balaram, they are exhausted. They are thinking, what is, like they are exhausted and they go to the mountain. So the last chapter, they were just walking and Kalyavana was running. And Krishna was ignoring them also. Like it's like he was just walking in a way, it's nothing is happening. Like when we walk sometime, we are like fearful. Kya ho raha hai? Something is coming. But Krishna was walking in such a way he was ignoring Kalyavan. But here Krishna is running very fast and he's getting exhausted. The Lord's Leelas are like very amazing, different. It's very difficult to understand. And Kalyavana was more powerful than Jarasandha. He has so much of boon and all. But here we see Krishna is running, and he is increasing the false ego of Jarasandha. Jarasandha is thinking 17 times he got defeated. And still he is thinking, I can kill Krishna. Just see, they are running from me. Now this time both are running. Krishna, Balaram, both are running. Every time Balaram was capturing me. This time, so I am complete sure, 100% winning. And I can chase them, I can beat them. They are just running. And so Krishna increases the false ego of demons. And I was reading 3rd canto, I think 2nd chapter, where Uddhava is remembering Krishna. So Uddhav says to Vidurji, Lord is so nice. Who will not cry by remembering Lord? That is called remembrance by Uddhav. He says he could have killed Kalyavan, he could have killed Jarasandha, but he gave that credit to his devotees, Muchkunda and Bhima. Lord can do by himself, but he gave credit to his devotees, Muchkunda and Bhima, to kill Kalyavan and Jarasandha. And here he is really bewildering Jarasandha more and more. He's just running. And he goes to the mountain. And Jarasandha was very powerful king. So he gave the order, all you get the wood and completely surround the mountain and just put fire. Like that time kings used to be like that only. They had that authority. They can do anything. It's not like suppose nowadays in democracy or places like where we have to put so much of wood, then someone may say, Prabhu, it will cost so much of Lakshmi, so much of ghee and petrol, but then cancel. So things may be very delayed. But here was such a strong king. He said, just ignite, put the fire, and whole so much of wood and everything was brought immediately. So that was not, there was no meeting with Jarasandha to convince him that he wanted, and there was no environmental issue, some slogan, some TV channel or something. So that type of king he was. That he got immediately whole the mountain burned, but nothing happened to Krishna Balram. They just jumped, and nothing happened to them, and they just walked to Dwarka. And I think just 1-2 days before only they have brought everyone to Dwarka from Mathura. So 90 miles almost, 90 miles jump, world record, longest jump. Sometimes if you see in the Olympic and all, people have to run so fast, and they jump 20 meter, 30 meter, I think whatever. So much of whole life they have to do. And it's like whole life they have to eat so much, they have to do so much exercise, so much of fitness, and that is only between 20 to 30. And after that they have to retire. So that body cannot take so much of competition. So by this we can understand Krishna is Supreme Lord so easily. Human beings have to do so much just to run 30 meter, 20 meter jump. And they want to become God. People want to become God. So it's not possible. So sometimes people, Radha Gopinath was telling in one example, there was a bet between two people. They can jump from some top. And one person said, yes, I can jump. He went up and he saw it's very high. He came down. But said, no, I will show. Another person said, I will show. And he went up. I think it was Sardarji, something. It's not a joke, it's a real thing. So he went up, but he saw it's very high, 30 foot. But he has taken the challenge. So yes, I can jump. But he could see it so high, 30 foot. He jumped. And he landed on his knees. And for 3 months he was in hospital. So people want to imitate Krishna, but they cannot. So this happens. So we have to be very careful. Maya so much makes fool of us. So here, Krishna Balram, they are running. And Jarasandha is getting, yes. They are fearful of me. And after that, Krishna Balram, they go to Dwarka and they meet all the devotees. And if you read 2-3 shloka before here, Balramji's marriage is described just in one shloka, I think. The daughter of Revat, the king of Anarth Desh, and he gave his daughter Revati to Balramji. So somewhere Acharya says Balramji got married first, because that is a Vedic tradition, and it's written in somewhere reading. So Brahmaji got so Balramji got first married. He got married first, and then afterwards Krishna. And as far as we know in Bhagavatam, Balramji had one wife or more. Huh? One, two. Who is the second? Varuni. That is in Vrindavan. Varuni. It's there in, I mean to say, she was staying in the palace somewhere in Dwarka. Varuni, Devi. Oh, Varun's daughter. Oh, okay. So, Balramji got married first, and then afterward Lord Krishna. And so I was reading third canto where Uddhavji is remembering Lord Krishna, and he was feeling such a great ecstasy. He was describing so many shlokas after shlokas after shlokas about greatness of Krishna. And Uddhavji is telling Vidurji, and Vidurji is there in front. He says sometime, you might have seen this pastime. How can our Lord do like this? How can our Lord be so fearful of his mother? How can our Lord be such and such, like different way? And he was completely absorbed in the remembrance of Lord Krishna. So we will read few shlokas from that. I like some shlokas. This is in the third canto, chapter 2. Very nice. It goes two chapters. One chapter is for about Vrindavan, and second chapter is for outside Vrindavan. So it says 2.1, third canto, second chapter, shloka number 1. Shri Shuka Vacha iti Bhagavata Prishta Chhatra Vartam Priyashrayam Prati Bhaktum na Chot Sehe Aut Kantha Yat Smarit Teshwara. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, when the great devotee Uddhav was asked by Vidur to speak on the message of the dearest Lord Krishna, Uddhav was unable to answer immediately due to excessive anxiety at the remembrance of Lord Krishna. Autkanta, like gadgad ho gaya. And it describes he got all symptoms of ecstasy. So we will go to directly the shloka where he speaks out, because what we want to focus there now. What he is describing, that remembrance. Before that, Vidurji is asking, what happened to Yudhishthir? What happened to everyone in Yaduvamsh and all this. And Uddhavji did not answer anything. He says, अगर सूर्य ही डूब गया है तो बाकी क्या होगा? Krishna has gone, then like root is cut and tree is gone. He did not describe Yudhishthir like that, Duryodhana is like that, Yaduvamsh is, because he was out na pilgrimage. He was just asking. He knew, but still he is asking. And he described it just Krishna has gone, then everyone is almost dead, like gone or dead. So Uddhav says, shloka number 7, Uddhav vacha Krishna dhumadi nimoloche grishne va jagarenaha ki kim nu kushalam bruya gata shrishu grahesh vaham. He says, Shri Uddhav said, my dear Vidur, the sun of world, Lord Krishna has set, and our houses have now been swallowed by a great snake of time. What can I say to you about our welfare? Pure devotees are so much absorbed. If Krishna is gone, then what is the use of asking so many questions? And if Krishna is there, then yes, everything is nice. But still, he was so much in absorption of Krishna, he says many things about Krishna. First, he says some philosophy. So we will not go to those philosophy part. We will see just some his Leela. Shloka number 14. Yasyanuraga prutaha sarasa Leela valoka pratilabdhamana Vraja striyo drigvi ranavu pravatta Dhiyo vatastu kilakritya shesha. The damsels of Vraja, after pastime of laughter, humor, exchanges of glances, were anguished when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence and could not finish their household duty. So first he is describing the Leela Tattva, how Krishna is Supreme Lord, how all the demigods came and assisted him, and how the Yaduvamsh, they did not take Krishna so seriously. They just saw Krishna as a Paramatma dwelling in everyone's heart, like that. And he says like, it's as if like when the moon is in the water, ocean, the fish, they do not identify the moon. But when moon goes away from the water, then the fish, they know, oh, that was a moon with us. So similarly, Yaduvamsha, they could see only like he's a Supreme Paramatma, he's in everyone's heart, he has appeared in our family. But Vrindavan Vasi were more like intimate. They could see Bhagwan like face to face. In that sense, they had more intimate relationship. So now he comes to directly Vrindavan. Past time he says about gopis. So gopis had so much of dealing of laughter, humor, exchange of glances, and so much deep feeling for Krishna, love, so that as Uddhav is stunned in the intelligence, similarly, what happened to gopis? They were also remembering Krishna, and they could not do any household things. So one time, one devotee was telling, they were so much absorbed, gopis were so much absorbed in Krishna. After Krishna left, they were not knowing what they are doing. Sometime, some gopi, they would go to the well to take water, and they will have a small baby in their hand, and they will forget to tie the bucket, and they will tie the baby in the rope, and they will put the baby inside the well to take away water. And someone has to tell her, hey, what you are doing? You are not putting bucket, you are putting your child. That was the absorption of gopis. So someone has to be there, otherwise. So they were not able to do anything. And actually we are just discussing from, I am just telling from very top level, but we have to go very deep in the emotions and feeling of gopis for Krishna. But that was like the extent, and we can understand how much they were completely stunned. We hear from the great devotees. If we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will find more. Then he says one shloka. So we will discuss few shloka. Shloka number 16. He is regretting. He is feeling lot of pain. Krishna, how Krishna can do like that? He is such a Lord, Supreme Lord, our well-wisher, our controller. How he is accepting such a low position, such a like things for his devotees and outside people? When I think Lord Krishna, how he was born in prison house of Vasudev, although he is unborn, how he went away from his father's protection to Braja and lived there incognito out of fear of enemy, and how although unlimitedly powerful, he fled from Mathura in fear. All these bewildering incidents give me distress. Like Kunti Maharani also gets distress, confusion about how Krishna, you are captured by Yashoda, your Supreme Lord. So he is telling, he is fearless. He is like instill fear in everyone's heart. How he is getting fearful of Kamsa, how he is getting incognito, how he is running away. So that was like, and Uddhav knows so much about Krishna. He is a pure devotee, but that Leela of Lord is so overwhelming that Tattva is getting behind. Because if you see from the Tattva point of view, then we may say, okay, I know what, like Krishna is Supreme Lord, anyway he will kill. But here, that Leela is so much going in their heart, they are just feeling how Krishna is doing such. And that was his remembrance. Uddhav was remembering more and more. He says one time, it will come ahead, when I see Krishna in front of Ugrasen, who was the king? Ugrasen. And he is coming and he is giving all reports. Today we have got this much of wealth, this many kingdom. And as just a normal soldier or normal like commander, he is giving the report. And though he is the Supreme Lord, he is the king of everyone. He is giving report to his devotee Ugrasena. So I get bewildered. I get perplexed how Krishna is doing, how Krishna is so humble for his devotee. He is doing such a nice thing and he's giving all credit to his devotees. Like that. So those things are bewildering Uddhava. Such a deep absorption. Actually, slowly we also have to get like touched by the qualities of Krishna, the dealings of Krishna with devotees. Then that our heart will be nourished by Krishna consciousness. Next sloka. Lord Krishna begged pardon from his parents for their inability to serve their feet due to being away from home because of great fear of Kamsa. He said, "Oh mother, oh father, please excuse us for this inability. All this behavior of Lord gives me pain at heart." Krishna says, if we read 10th canto, he says to his father and mother, "Please forgive us. I could not do my duty. And because of me, like it's like very difficult sometimes to, like, actually there is no fault of Krishna there. It's like, but still he's telling, because of me you suffered so much. I could not do anything for you. Please forgive me. But sometimes when we do some mistake and it's very difficult to accept because of our ego. But here is no fault practically of Krishna. But still he's like giving so much of love and connection to his devotee relationship. So by that, all the suffering Vasudeva and Devaki they underwent, they just forgot. They became so happy because that relation of Lord, he's so nicely reciprocating with them. Though he's Supreme Lord, but he's putting himself at the feet of his devotee. Because of me, you suffered so much. Because of me, you were put in jail. Please forgive me. A son should do the duty towards parents, but he's just telling like that. So all those things are bewildering Uddhava. Because in between he says, the supreme power of Krishna, who after smelling the dust of his lotus feet, even once, could ever forget it. Simply by expanding the leaves of his eyebrows, Krishna has given the death blows to those who were burdening the earth. So Krishna, just by lifting his eyebrow, can cause the death of enemies. And he is doing such thing. So how it is giving so much pain to my heart? And he says, you have personally seen how the king of Chedi, Shishupal, achieved success in yoga practice, although he hated Lord Krishna. Even the actual yogis aspire after such success with great interest by performance of their various practices. Who can tolerate separation from him? So now he will speak about that famous shloka, Putana, that I think. He gave deliverance to Shishupal, who was giving so much of gali. And he gave deliverance to Putana. She was giving poison. So like in this world also, we see sometimes some devotees, they are rebuked by others, or they are chastised by others, they are given so many bad words and things like that. And though they are very powerful and they can do the thing, but still they remain humble and all, then it really touches our heart, like those qualities. So similarly, Krishna is unlimitedly powerful. So how much that heart will be touched by those qualities? Like Dayaram Prabhu says, like forgiveness. Sometimes we say, I forgive you. So he says forgiveness is nice if it is in the hand of a very powerful person. Like it like a shobha is there. If you are not powerful only and you just say, I forgive, then it may be out of circumstances or out of force, you have to forgive that person. But if a powerful person, competent person can forgive and be humble, that is a great opulence. That attracts the heart of so many people. So in that way, Uddhava is remembering the pastime of Krishna and telling us so that we also get touched by the qualities of Krishna and the devotees of Krishna's and their qualities, so that our life can become successful. Srimad Bhagvatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.